Why this works. A poached egg is an exercise in coagulating the white while leaving the yolk liquid, which requires precise temperature management in an aqueous environment. Egg white proteins, primarily ovalbumin, ovotransferrin, and ovomucin, denature and coagulate at 63 to 80 degrees Celsius. The white begins to set around 63 degrees Celsius and is fully firm by 80 degrees Celsius. The yolk proteins coagulate in a higher range, 65 to 70 degrees Celsius for a flowing yolk, above 70 degrees Celsius for a set yolk. This means there is a temperature window, roughly 80 to 85 degrees Celsius in the poaching water, where the white can be brought to full firmness while the yolk stays below its set point. The cooking time, 3 to 4 minutes, is chosen to bring the white to full coagulation, while keeping the center of the yolk below 65 degrees Celsius. The vinegar serves a chemical function. In an acidic environment, the pH of the egg white drops, which shifts the coagulation temperature of the white proteins downward. They begin to set at a lower temperature and set more firmly. This tighter coagulation at the surface of the white is what produces the compact, defined shape of a well-poached egg. Without vinegar, the white proteins drift and spread before setting, producing trailing streamers of cooked white around a loose core. The freshness of the egg is structural, not aesthetic. Fresh egg whites have higher viscosity. The albumin gel is tighter, with more intact ovomucin fibers holding the white in a cohesive mass. As an egg ages, the ovomucin network degrades. The white becomes watery and loses its capacity to stay cohesive in the poaching water. An old egg produces white that spreads and trails no matter how good the technique. For poaching, use the freshest eggs available, ideally less than 5 days from laying. Common mistakes? Water too hot. Target 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. Small bubbles rising from base. No rolling simmer. Why it matters? Boiling water, 100 degrees Celsius, creates turbulence that tears the white apart before it can set around the yolk. Result is shredded whites trailing through the water. The 80 to 85 degrees Celsius window is gentle enough for coagulation, hot enough for speed. What to do? Thermometer in the water. Adjust burner to maintain steady 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. Workarounds. No thermometer, look for small bubbles rising from bottom, but no breaking the surface. Off heat, just enough that the water shivers rather than simmers. Dropping egg from height, target, crack into ramekin first, then lower ramekin to just above water surface before releasing. Why it matters? Drop from height, impact breaks the egg structure on surface contact, white spreads everywhere before it can wrap around the yolk. What to do? Crack into small cup beforehand, lower cup almost touching water, then tip the egg in. Multiple eggs, space release by 5 to 10 seconds, so each has time to start setting before the next. Skipping the vinegar. Target, 20 milliliter vinegar per liter, 2%. White wine vinegar or cider vinegar. Why it matters? Acid lowers white's coagulation temperature, so it sets faster and tighter. Compact egg shape, no trailing ribbons of cooked white. Vinegar is structural, not optional. What to do? Add vinegar and salt to the water before heating. Workarounds, vinegar flavor concern, 30 milliliters lemon juice can substitute. Acid level similar. Using old eggs, target eggs less than 5 days from laying for ideal results. Why it matters. Egg whites lose viscosity with age. Old whites are watery, spread on contact, can't form compact poached shape regardless of technique. No method recovers degraded whites. What to do? Date check at purchase. For poaching, prioritize fresh local eggs. Workarounds. Older eggs strain whites through a fine mesh to remove watery portion. Help slightly. Moving eggs during cooking. Target, don't touch eggs for the full 3 to 4 minutes. Let them set undisturbed. Why it matters. Stirring or disturbing the eggs while whites are setting interrupts coagulation. Patchy, uneven texture. The vortex method, some recipes recommend, is widely overrated and often counterproductive. What to do? Set timer. Walk away from the pan after the eggs are in. Workarounds. Worried about overcooking? Set timer for 2:30, check it then. Forgetting to drain on a towel. Target, lift eggs with slotted spoon. Briefly drain on clean towel or paper towel before plating. Why it matters. Cooking water clings to the egg and makes the plate watery. Brief drain equals clean plate, no diluted sauce, professional presentation. What to do? Have clean kitchen towel ready beside the pan. Lift, blot 2 to 3 seconds, plate. Workarounds, want maximum cleanness, trim ragged edges with kitchen scissors before plating. What to look for? Water temperature. Small, steady bubbles rising from the base. Not simmering, not still. 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. Verify with a thermometer if uncertain. Egg entering water. The white immediately begins to fold over the yolk, turning white within 15 to 20 seconds at the base. The egg should hold together, not spread. At 3 minutes, the white is opaque and set. Lift gently with a slotted spoon. The egg holds its shape. Press the yolk. It gives like a water balloon. Plated, compact oval shape. White fully set with no translucent areas. Yolk visible as a golden dome just beneath the surface. Chef's view. Poached eggs are one of the most technically revealing tests of both egg freshness and water temperature control. A poached egg made with a 2-week-old egg at 90 degrees Celsius looks nothing like a poached egg made with a 3-day-old egg at 83 degrees Celsius, even if the recipe is identical. The technique exposes every variable. The tradition of making poached eggs in bulk for restaurant service involves a preliminary poach, cooking until the white is barely set, then immediately plunging into ice water to arrest the coagulation. The eggs are stored in cold water and reheated to order in 60 degrees Celsius water for 2 to 3 minutes. This produces consistently timed eggs at service pace. For home use, cooking to order is always preferable. The texture of a freshly poached egg is superior to a reheated one. For œufs pochés in the classical tradition, the egg is finished with a trimmed clean edge, either placed on a crouton rubbed with garlic, or served atop vegetables with sauce hollandaise. The poached egg in this context is a vehicle for the sauce. The compactness of the white allows a sauce to pool on top without running immediately. Chef test notes. Tested vinegar amounts: 10 ml, 20 ml, and 30 ml per liter of water. At 10 ml, slight improvement over no vinegar, but some trailing white. At 20 ml, compact shape and minimal trailing. At 30 ml, the white had a faint vinegar flavor. 20 ml was the optimal amount. Also tested egg freshness. 2-day-old eggs versus 10-day-old eggs at identical conditions. The 2-day eggs produced compact, clean shapes. The 10-day eggs spread visibly and produced ragged whites, despite good temperature control. Tested the holding method. Ice water arrest, followed by 60 degrees Celsius reheating. The reheated eggs were structurally identical to freshly poached, but slightly less glossy on the surface.